The story of Prophet Musa, Moses, peace be upon him, is one of the most inspiring and significant narratives in Islam. His life is mentioned in many places in the Quran, teaching lessons of faith, patience, and trust in Allah. Birth of Prophet Musa. As Prophet Musa, was born into the Bani Israel, children of Israel, at a time when Egypt was ruled by the tyrant Pharaoh. Pharaoh had a dream that a child from the Israelites would rise and overthrow his kingdom. Fearing this prophecy, he ordered the killing of every newborn male child of Bani Israel. To save her child, Musa's mother, under Allah's command, placed him in a basket and let it float on the river Nile. The basket reached Pharaoh's palace, where his wife Asiyah found him and convinced Pharaoh to adopt him. By Allah's will, Musa's real mother was called to nurse him, allowing her to be with her child while he was raised in Pharaoh's palace. Musa, grows up. Musa, grew up in the royal court, receiving wisdom and strength from Allah. One day he saw an Egyptian man oppressing an Israelite slave. In an attempt to defend the slave, Musa, struck the Egyptian, accidentally killing him. Fearing for his life, he fled Egypt and traveled to the land of Madyan. Musa, in Madyan. In Madyan, Musa, helped two sisters by drawing water for their animals. Their father, Prophet Shu'aib, was impressed by his kindness and strength and offered him one of his daughters in marriage. Musa, lived in Madyan for several years before deciding to return to Egypt. Prophethood and speaking to Allah. On his journey back to Egypt, Musa, reached Mount Sinai, where he saw a burning bush. Here, Allah spoke to him directly and granted him prophethood. Allah gave him 2 miracles. 1. His staff could turn into a snake. 2. His hand would glow brightly when placed inside his cloak. Allah commanded him to go to Pharaoh and invite him to the worship of the one true God, and to free the Israelites from oppression. Musa, confronts Pharaoh. Musa, went to Pharaoh and presented Allah's message, but Pharaoh arrogantly rejected it. He gathered his best magicians to challenge Musa's miracles. When Musa, threw down his staff, it turned into a real snake and swallowed the magicians' illusions. Realizing the truth, the magicians accepted Islam, but Pharaoh, in his arrogance, refused to believe and continued his oppression. The Exodus and Pharaoh's destruction. After a series of punishments, plagues from Allah, Pharaoh reluctantly allowed the Israelites to leave. Musa, led them towards the Red Sea, but Pharaoh and his army pursued them. By Allah's command, Musa, struck the sea with his staff, and it miraculously parted, creating a dry path for the Israelites. When Pharaoh and his army entered, the sea closed upon them, drowning them all. Guiding Bani Israel. After their escape, the Israelites faced many trials in the desert. Allah provided them with food, manna and quails, and water from a rock. However, they often disobeyed Musa, and demanded to see Allah directly. Musa, went to Mount Sinai, where Allah gave him the Torah, containing divine laws. Despite seeing so many miracles, the Israelites continued to rebel. As a punishment, Allah made them wander in the desert for 40 years before entering the Holy Land. Death of Musa. Musa, spent his life guiding his people, but he passed away before they reached their destination. His exact burial place remains unknown as per Allah's will. Lessons from the story of Musa. 1. Trust in Allah. Musa's mother placed him in the river, relying on Allah's plan. 2. Patience and hardship. Musa, endured trials, but remained steadfast in faith. 3. Divine justice. Pharaoh's arrogance led to his destruction. 4. Obedience to Allah. Even after seeing miracles, disobedience leads to consequences. Musa, story is a powerful reminder that Allah's help is always with those who have faith in Him.